Hi, it's Denise, Minty Green Mama, and I have an unboxing to do today. I just got a package from Canada, and I am pretty sure this is a Kickstarter deck that I backed, the Botanical Deck, so I am going to go ahead and open it. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. I love getting this kind of mail. It is so fun to get decks in the mail. And I've been getting more than my fair share recently because I ordered several for my birthday, and yeah. And so they just keep coming. And this one was actually a Kickstarter deck, so this is like a bonus. All right. Oh, it's purple. I love the color purple. Oh. All right, so, oh, the postcard with what looks like some mushrooms on it. So that's exciting. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. I'm not always that delicate with the tissue paper. Oh man. Okay, so that looks amazing. So the Botanical Deck, it's all wrapped up and completely, oh, you can see my computer on there. That's how shiny it is. The Botanical Deck, and this is by Jessica Bott at thecrackedamethyst.com. How cool. I knew these were shipped a little bit ago. I got the shipping notification, but because it was coming from Canada, I wasn't sure how long it was going to take, and so I kind of was trying not to obsess about it. And when I finally was thinking about other things, that's when it came. So I was pleasantly surprised today. So it's in this nice big hard-sided box. Ooh. It's so pretty. Okay, so we've got the book, which is paperback book. Let's see. It is about 91 pages. A little introduction. See, the word botanical means anything relating to plants. Botany, the study of plant life, is one of the oldest sciences, as people have been studying plants since there have been people. Plants are our food, our medicine, our religion, and sometimes our death. There would be no earth if there were no plants. This deck also includes things that are not plants, mushrooms and lichens. I want to say that's pronounced lichens, but I love plants and I love nature. Am I an expert at it? No. There's a lot I don't know. So it goes a little bit about the plants in this book. There's some that fit in more than one category. No plant is ever just one thing. She says she's not a botanist, nor do I have a degree in science. Just an artist who loves plants and has a tendency to read and research. All right, so in the deck, so we have a little section about the deck. It says there's 130 cards. It's a combination of standard tarot deck with the major arcana and the 4 suits, and an oracle deck comprised of 5 suits. So the major arcana are trees, flowers are cups, or cups are flowers, pentacles are crops, wands are spices, and swords are cacti. Oh, that's nice. And so then there's another 5 suits for the oracle. It says it's similar to having another minor arcana minus the court cards. They number ace to 10. And so they have poisons for toxicity and potential, herbs, encouragement and support, medicines, protection and power, mushrooms, and that's the one I'm really excited about, change and capability, and then a carnivorous suit for evolution and opportunity. And if I'm not mistaken, the carnivorous suit was actually like a oh, I don't remember what it's called now, but like a reach goal, or I don't know what the terminology is, but you know, when you get to a certain point on Kickstarter, like it's like a bonus. Yeah, since I don't know the words, I probably shouldn't have even tried to explain that. So yeah, so you have a little bit about, and there's just a little bit, like a little paragraph. Looks like there's some keywords for each, a few keywords, and then a little paragraph about each card. Let's see, and that's in the majors. It looks like the minors are the same. It looks like the same for the other suits in the Oracle deck. And then there's a couple spreads. Let's see, the tree spread, flower, botanicals, daily check-in, and then a couple pages of sources. Oh, I like the daily check-in spread. It looks interesting because it's actually two parts of the deck can be separated with the Oracle card as your theme and the tarot making up the other 4 cards. So it's like a 5-card daily check-in. So I'd have to have, like, for me, I'm a 1-card draw type of a girl on the everyday because I have minimal time, but I love to spend more time with my cards whenever I get a chance. So I'll have to try those out. So it looks like the deck comes in here. Okay, that was unexpected. Throw that at you. And so it looks like, okay, so they pop right out of there, so be aware of that. There's 2 packs of cards. Pretty sturdy because I just threw that one around and it was fine. My box is a little squished, but I think it'll be okay because I'm probably not going to keep it in this box. I love the box. I love the purple. I'm just not fond of boxes where the deck is split. I know this is such a big deck, like those 2 together, that's huge. I don't like to split the deck up to put it away. So I'll probably have to get like a nice big bag to put these in. So let's get these open. And one of the reasons when I saw this on Kickstarter, I was actually following Cracked Amethyst on Instagram, and I was so excited when this was available on Kickstarter. Like, I backed it as soon as it was available. I just loved the idea of like a tarot deck and an oracle deck together that like made together and they went together. So it was exciting. And like I said, I don't know that much. I would love to know more about trees and plants. I don't know that much. So this will hopefully teach me a few fun things and maybe encourage me to go find out more on my own. So yes. All right. So this is a big deck together. So we'll see. I'm interested to see how that's gonna shuffle. So it doesn't look like there's any kind of gilding or anything on the edges. So I don't know. It's just such a nice deck. I don't want to ruin it, but I might try to edge it. Okay. So trees, I believe I said that they were the majors. Significant issue or situation. So I don't know if I'm going to go through every card because, my gosh, be here forever with all these cards. Ooh, I think it's pronounced Baobab. Or I could be saying that completely wrong, but for the magician, isn't that amazing? That is so cool. It's going to be interesting, witch hazel. It's going to be interesting going through these cards and just seeing which ones I recognize and, learning about the ones that I don't know. And I know, maybe on our Instagram, there's a thing where you can take one of the cards, and if you find the plant in real life, take a picture of them together. which seems fun. I love bamboo. As the chariot, it makes so much sense, right? Because it grows so fast. At least that's how I think of it. Ginkgo, I love ginkgo. Pardon the lighting. I just moved all my stuff around and I'm still trying to get the lighting right at in my new space. Ooh, sequoia for the hermit. And this is the money tree for Wheel of Fortune. And oh, dancing lime for justice. Oh man, I've got ink on my fingers. Oh wow. Dancing lime. I didn't even know that was a type of tree. I'm not going to try to pronounce all of these, but I like that one. That's gorgeous. It's kind of hard, and the font is a little bit, you can see the name of that one, is a little bit thin, like the style is thin. So suicide tree for death. So it's kind of hard to read on the camera. Eucalyptus, temperance. Look at that. Oh, I love that. Love that. Strangler fig for the devil. Oh man. That was really cool. I really like the idea of trees for the majors because they as far as plants go, like they usually are around for a very long time. So they're very rooted, and you can think, if you think of like major issues as being issues that have taken root, you know, like, so that's see, this is furze, F-U-R-Z-E, furze, the sun. So I can, that might not be her intention, you know, the reason why they're the majors, but for me it makes sense that way. Palm is the world. Seed pod is the unknown. So you have the world as palm. Oh, and I'm just noticing now it looks like these are not numbered. Oh man, that took me a minute to notice. Okay, so I'm not seeing it numbers, but so they do have like trees, you know, the categories are at the top, and then the bottom is the title of the card. So we have like trees be the category, so those are the majors, and then it has the name of the tree, which is palm, and then the title of the card, which is the world. And then this, it looks like a little extra card. It is seed pod, the unknown, and a little question mark. I love that because it's just like that untapped potential, you know, in the seed pod. So very cool. Of course, you know, it's that thing where your nose starts to itch as soon as you're filming a video. So I apologize. All right, so here we have flowers, which is cups, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna try to work through these. Twin flower. That's a perfect 2, isn't it? Chrysanthemum. It's interesting because, you know, it's not exactly a realistic style of artwork, but a lot of these, like, I can recognize, the ones that I know I'm able to recognize, so I'm enjoying this style of artwork, actually. And I just ordered the Herb Crafters Tarot. I actually just got it in. I haven't had a chance to look at it. I'm just inundated with the decks these days. It's a good problem to have. And I probably won't buy any for quite a while, but it's interesting to have. The Herb Crafters Tarot is very much like, from what I've seen, you know, it's very much about using the herbs and their functions and how those functions fit into the archetypes. Let's see, what is this? Hibiscus. And this one's more about, instead of focusing on how the plants are used, the artwork is the plant itself. So it goes page, the quartz are page, knight, queen, and king. Oh, and I don't know if I showed, this is the back. So is it reversible? I think it is. Yes, I think it's reversible. Oh, how lovely. So reversible, purple with that little border. I love it. And the cardstock is lovely. It's like that matte kind of feel. Absolutely gorgeous. It's going to be so fun to take pictures of it. Calla lily, one of my all-time favorite flowers. Queen of Cups. And that's funny because even though I am a Leo and a fire sign, I've always, when I'm using a significator, I almost always choose Queen of Cups because I'm incredibly emotional. Not always a good thing, but I always identify as Queen of Cups. King Protea as a king. And I think I have at least one other deck that is not particularly like all botanicals, but does use cups as, or flowers as cups. So, so I think I'll be able to remember that. So this is crops. And if I'm not mistaken, crops was pinnacles. Yes. Livelihood and material possessions, which makes sense because crops are like something that you know, are counted on, like like you plant to grow in order to, you know, become prosperous or feed your family or do something in the material world. So I think I can remember that. It's always interesting when you have a deck that doesn't have, excuse me, traditional names. And what is that? Artichoke. Oh, artichoke. Cool. And so that is just an, if you, I don't know if you can hear my kids fussing in the background. It's supposed to be their bedtime and they're having a little bit of trouble trying to go to bed. My husband is up there, so they are completely fine if you hear them fussing. Hopefully you can hear that. Oh, okay, you probably can hear that. That's like escalating and oh, my poor babies. They don't want to stay in their room by themselves sometimes. Okay. Strawberry is the Page of Pentacles. It's interesting. I'm going to think about a lot of these. Okay, so here we have corn as the Knight of Pentacles. And the onion as the Queen. Potato as King of Pentacles. It's very earthy, you know. All right, so spices. If I'm not mistaken, spices are the fire. They're the wands for inspiration and action, which makes sense because they add spice to life. This is vanilla. What is that? Clove. Sesame. Cacao. Yay. 4 of spices. 4 of pentacles. Ooh, and cayenne is 5. See, I really like cayenne. I'm trying to think, you know, 5 of pentacles, cayenne. I'm gonna have to think about some of these. Star, anise. I want to say anise. I've never known if that's the correct pronunciation. Ginger for the 7. Coffee. Coffee for 8 of spices, 8 of pentacles. Cinnamon. Juniper for 10 of pentacles. Nutmeg as the page. Saffron for the Knight. Cardamom, Queen. And black pepper as the King of spices, King of wands, black pepper. I can see a lot of those, like I actually see the connections, which I'm very happy with because I didn't know if I was going to since I'm not as familiar with different plants. So that's pretty good. So we did. So cacti are the swords, which I mean, that makes sense because they're sharp and pointy, like swords for the mind and intellect. So cacti, I'm definitely not familiar with. I do not know a lot of varieties. I used to, oddly enough, when I lived in Colorado, like a lot of people in my neighborhood planted cacti. So but prickly pear, that's one I actually know. For the Three of Swords. Three of Swords. Peyote for the 4. So much to think about. Like, what's my knowledge of that plant? How does it work with the, the knowledge I have of this particular card, like the 5 of Swords as teddy bear cactus, which I've never even heard of. So dragon fruit as the 6. Moon, the 7. Moon cactus. Old man of the Andes cactus, I guess, for the 8 of Swords. Living rock, 9 of cacti. Fire barrel as the 10. The colors are really eye-catching in this deck. And the rose cactus, the page. Like very vibrant, very bold. Queen of the Night. Oh, Queen of the Night as the Knight is interesting. Old Lady. It's Queen. So, I'm going to be Googling a lot of these cacti. Elephant cactus as a king. And then we have, so that should be, let's see, we had the flowers for cups, we had the crops for pinnacles, we had the spices for wands, and the swords were the cacti. So that is the whole tarot deck right there. I'm going to put those in their own special pile. And so this is the oracle deck. Oh my gosh. And the cards keep coming. Look at how many cards there are in this deck. What was it? It ended up being, I think, 130, it said. It's a lot. Ooh, Deadly Nightshade as the Ace of Poisons. Castor Bean. You. Wolf's Bane. It's gorgeous. And it's poisonous. Jimson weed. Mandrake. Buttercup. Buttercup is poison. I feel like I probably should know that. Hemlock. Rosary pea. Tobacco. And that's all the poisons. So then we have the herbs, and let's see, poisons were toxicity and potential. Herbs are encouragement and support. I get encouragement and support. This is basil, marjoram, rosemary, lavender. Oh, all my favorite ones in the herbal section. Cilantro. Love cilantro. Thyme. Bay leaf. Peppermint. Ah, peppermint. Lemongrass. Sage. So this is the last herbal one. And then it's medicines, and they are protection and power. So I'm thinking I'm going to, yarrow. I'm thinking I'm going to keep these separated for a while, that oracle and the tarot, and use them together, you know, but separate. Because I'm thinking that together they're just going to be too big to shuffle properly or easily. But who knows? Maybe I'll just add them together and see how they do. Marijuana. 7 of medicines. Wild sage for 8. Plantain. And then the last one in the medicines category is sweetgrass. Okay, so then it's a mushrooms category for our suit for change in capability. Change and capability. I think I can see that. Morale. Nightlight. Oh, and this is the little, I was like, I think these are mushrooms, unless it's some type of flower that I'm not familiar with. But yeah. So this is Nightlight. Oh, look at that. I love this one because it's green and it's pretty and I love it. And it's a mushroom. And I'm like really into mushrooms. Like I drink the mushroom coffee. You know, the coffee that has mushrooms in it. Decaf, of course, because I'm boring like that. Magic mushroom for 3. Corpse Finder is the name of this one. Corpse Finder. I did not know that there was a Corpse Finder mushroom. Shaggy ink cap. There's so many interesting kinds of mushrooms. Fly Amanita. I could be saying that completely wrong. Amethyst Deceiver. So many cool mushroom names. Amethyst Deceiver. Veiled Lady. Red Cage. Oh my gosh. That's a mushroom. I'm going to have to look up some pictures online of that. Like, that's totally bizarre looking. Death Cap. Yes, I have heard of these. It's been the subject of at least a couple murder mystery shows that I have seen. And we're on to the last. Oh, interesting. Okay, so then we got carnivorous. And there's like an extra one. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, carnivorous suit for evolution and opportunity. So mushrooms are change and capability. Carnivorous is evolution and opportunity. Because change and evolution, I mean, are not the same thing. But in my mind, like they're very similar. So I'm going to have to think about ways I can distinguish the two when I'm using this. Carnivorous, so Venus flytrap. Purple pitcher plant. Those are so cool. Cobra lily. Butterwort. That's just a fun one to say. Butterwort. Common sundew. Dewy pine. Water wheel. Fairy apron. How very cool. Looks like it should have been in Alice in Wonderland. Yellow trumpet. And king pitcher plant for 10. And then this one was all by its lonesome. It's tea. It says ace. Tea plant. Tea. So did I miss one, or is this a bonus? I don't think I missed any. Got the ace of the poisons, ace of herbs, ace of medicines, ace of mushrooms. It wouldn't have been carnivorous. Interesting. I'm gonna have to see if it's in here. My little tea plant. Yeah, tea. Ace of tea. It's just all by itself in its own little suit. So there you go. So that is the oracle section. So this video is already pretty long, but I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the tarot and then the oracle and pull one from each because the sections in the book are pretty short. I think that would be fun. So even like this is already a little bit big for me to shuffle. Not too big, but I don't think I'd want to shuffle more than just the tarot by itself. Oh, it shuffled pretty well. I like that. I like that. That was just the first shuffle too. Oh, I like that. They don't fly all over the place. Very nice. All right, one last time. Okay. Ooh. All right, so the card I picked from the tarot is Trees, Sacred Fig as the Hierophant. And then let me put these. And so this is quite a bit smaller deck, so it is easier to shuffle by itself, the oracle deck, but still, you know, the cardstock's really nice. It shuffles well. It doesn't slip all over the place, which is super fancy. Marijuana, 7. Nice. Okay. I just wanted to check on one thing, so I'm just pulling majors. I wanted to look at one of the minors and see. Okay, yeah. I was just wondering on the bottom if it had the other suit name, like cups or whatever, but it does. It just has flowers. The name of the plant, hibiscus, and then the number, which is 9. So that, I just couldn't remember, and I wanted to check on that. All right, so let's start with the trees, the major arcana card. The Hierophant, Sacred Fig, which is a gorgeous looking tree. I don't know that I'm not familiar with this one. And it has the Latin name. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. So keywords are belief, teaching, and knowledge. It says the sacred fig holds religious significance for 3 major religions. Buddhists believe Buddha attained enlightenment under a sacred fig, and Hindus and Jains, I apologize so much if I mispronounce that, also consider the tree to be sacred and will meditate and worship under these trees. And I didn't even know that about Buddhists. How have I missed that? Or I probably have read that and then just forgotten it. So that's interesting. So that's all the information. And so you get information about the tree, and then you get the keywords, beliefs, teaching, knowledge. So if you wanted to read with this deck and you weren't familiar with the traditional meanings of the cards, then you might need another book to give you some ideas. But if you already are familiar with reading the cards, it gives you a little bit of interesting history about the tree. So then you kind of have like a little bit of additional info to add into the readings. So, because it kind of has a different, like this, the Hierophant card, which is so funny because the Hierophant is the card that I look for in decks because it is my birth card. It's a Hierophant. And I love the Hierophant as like beliefs and teachings and passing on knowledge and that kind of a thing. Like passing on sacred knowledge. And, you know, a lot of decks will have the Hierophant as like a very formal, like stuffy, like stuck in the old ways, like passing down rites and rituals, but not in not living rituals, but just like kind of like stuffies, you know, like I'm like, can't think of I can't think of a proper way to explain it, but it's very it doesn't have a very good connotation, you know, like stuck in a rut type of like these are the way we always done it and you're gonna do it this way type of a thing. That's how I read a lot of decks, especially in Rider-Waite-Smith imagery. And this I can kind of read it how I like to read it, which is like passing on knowledge and you know, sacred knowledge, and then it has the whole enlightenment type of thing behind it, like meditating and getting on enlightenment and that kind of stuff. So that's great. And now medicines. Oh, I'm trying not to sneeze. Okay, 7 of medicines. Marijuana, cannabis. I can pronounce that one. Judgment, bias, stereotypes. And let me just remind myself, medicines are the suit of protection and power. The suit of protection and power, medicines, and this is an 8-7. This is the number 7. Okay, marijuana has been used for medical, recreational, and religious purposes for centuries. It is thought to have strong medical qualities and is used for therapeutic relief in a multitude of illnesses. Marijuana was criminalized in the 1800s, and due to legal restrictions, marijuana has been poorly studied for any actual medical benefits, which is really sad if you ask me. Because if you could grow your own medicine, like that's something that was very potent and powerful, and you could grow it yourself and you could save yourself a ton of money rather than going out and buying drugs, you know, for pain management, stuff like that. Like, I mean, this is criminalized, but like there's so many people, I'm not going to go into it because that would just, but anyway, I think that is an interesting point. It has been poorly studied for actual medical benefits. So anyway, judgment, bias, and stereotypes. Judgment, bias, and stereotypes, and it is the suit of protection and power. Protection and power. Judgment, bias, and stereotypes. Let me see if it has a little blurb about medicines. Medicines. The medicinal property of plants have been studied and used for millennia, with the earliest religious leaders and healers using plants to heal people. Many of these plants have been studied by modern science, but countless still have a long way to go. Nonetheless, these plants have a long history as healers. Yeah. Yes, so judgment, bias, and stereotypes combined with the Hierophant. So you have like passing on, you have like, so the idea of passing on sacred knowledge, but that is but confronted with the idea of judgment, bias, and stereotypes. So it's sacred, and yet it's subject to some, I mean, I would even venture to say false, you know, beliefs, or, you know, like just stereotypes, I guess, would fit. But so that if you put these together, like I would get like sacred knowledge that you could gain if you can see beyond judgment and bias and stereotypes and be able to see the truth behind those things. Then you can get to the sacred knowledge that you maybe need to receive, or if it's knowledge you're passing on, you have to overcome the judgment, bias, and stereotypes in order to pass along your knowledge. So I think I can kind of read with those together, although I'll have to work with them a little bit. But anyway, it's already like 40 minutes into this video. It is a big deck, and it's a beautiful deck, and I love it. And despite my lack of knowledge on plants and all things botanical, I think I'm going to be able to actually read with this pretty well, and I'm excited because they're just gorgeous, gorgeous cards. So this was the Botanical Deck by Jessica Bott of thecrackedamethyst.com, and I hope you enjoyed the cards, and I love talking with you, and I will talk with you again soon. All right, have a good one. Bye.